Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Let's turn down the volume a little bit so it's nice and perfect for you. Welcome back to another installment of Bodybuilding Daily, where we talk about all things hot topic and trending. Shirt and hat available at bodybuildingnews.net if you're interested. But what I wanted to talk to you about today, welcome back. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. But there's been a conversation. Hunter Labrada. He's been a very popular topic in the last few videos that we've done here, and we have a few more, so stay tuned for those. But there has been a conversation, and I have repeated it. I have regurgitated the conversation in several videos, and that conversation would be that Hunter Labrada in the recent Tampa Pro, where he won and qualified for the 2023 Mr. Olympia, men's open bodybuilding, if you didn't know. Sometimes you got to break it down Barney style. But the conversation that people have been talking about is that this is the best condition Hunter Labrada has ever brought. And luckily for us, a gentleman by the name of Project Bodybuilding 1 put together a side-by-side comparison of the 2022 Mr. Olympia, where Hunter Labrada placed, 8th? 7th? It was something like that. And on the right, we have, like I said, the Tampa Pro, where he just won. There are 4 shots, so 4 mandatory shots that we'll go through. So if you are interested in that type of content, definitely stay tuned. We will also be recording our muscle report weekly after this, so stay tuned for a 20 or 30 minute video recapping everything that's going on in the world of bodybuilding, fitness, and Josh Sanch, myself, my journey, and my life. What's going on in my life? Some of you seem to enjoy those videos, so we'll keep making those. But let's go ahead and start off with this ab and thigh. Historically, at the shows that I've been at least the amateur shows, or the pro-ams, not the Olympia, not the Arnold Classic, but they usually say the ab and one thigh. And as you can see on the left, Hunter's doing a more traditional, what you see at the Olympia level is both thighs. Now, on the right, you can see he's spiking it a little bit, but it is somewhat still the same shot. And let's go ahead and break this down from the calves, all the way up to the arms. I was singing I was singing Give On in the car really, really loud. So my deeper notes aren't going to be as nice and crisp as they typically are. So I do apologize. But starting from the calves, kind of a draw here. I'd say there's more conditioning and separation, better quality, which is bonkers. You'd think at the Mr. Olympia, the Manions would hire the best of the best for photography, videography, the best backdrops. But what do I know, ladies and gentlemen? If you want to have LED screens in the back and it makes the photos blurry and not great, hey, it's your business to run. Clearly, the Tampa Pro thought differently, did the solid photo background with the what do you call it, tapestry, sort of, and it looks phenomenal. It looks like some of the best photography we've seen. It's also Guileco doing the photography and not NPC News Online. So huge difference in professionalism and quality. So that's where I'll leave that one. Calves, let's give it to the Tampa Pro. I think the calves do look a little bit better. The quads are kind of difficult to compare because it's a different variation of the shot, but you can clearly see more conditioning, more separation, more detail at the Tampa Pro compared to the Olympia. Moving into the midsection, there's a lot of stuff going on in that lower midsection underneath the belly that I'm not a huge fan of. Not a lot of separation in the abs. The obliques are just kind of blah. I'd like to see more detail there. When you look at the Tampa Pro, also similar, not a lot of detail there. I'd really like to see a lot more harder, crisp abs, and that's something that Carlos Thomas Jr. and Andrew Jacked are going to be bringing, is an amazingly defined midsection. Something like old Sean Roden, one of the best ab shots of any Mr. Olympia, in my opinion. So again, I'd probably give this one to the Tampa Pro. It just seems like it was a little bit better. The chest, I would say, is a wash. It's his worst body part with his left pec tear. It does pull away from the shots a lot. The lat width and insertions are they are what they are. Not great. They could be wider, but this isn't really a shot to judge the lats. And then the arms, I'd say, are pretty comparable as well. Moving into the next shot, again, courtesy of Project Bodybuilding 1 on Instagram. Make sure you guys go follow him or her or them, whatever. From the back, calves also still kind of a wash. Not really seeing a lot of separation, not a lot of difference. Very similar. The hamstrings, surprisingly, for how much people are saying he's more improved and more conditioned, the hamstrings and the glutes look almost identical. You still have a lot of skin folding underneath that glute. And I think that might be because of the way he's hitting it. Because we're going to get into ones where we're comparing him against his most recent Tampa Pro versus Nick Walker's Arnold Classic and day and night when you talk about conditioning. So there's going to be some big hitters that he's going to have to try to beat at this Olympia. And who knows? Who knows if he's going to be able to crack into that top 6? I don't think so, but who knows? Who really knows? Lower back, almost identical as well. Not a lot of extra separation. The obliques aren't really pouring over in either one of the shots, so you really can't knock him for that. He's got a great back shot, at least the back double. A lot of detail. When you look at in the upper traps, the rhomboids, the lats, the delts, all of that looks very similar. Just maybe a little thicker. It's got a little bit more pop to it, but we're really apples and oranging for the back here. I don't see a lot of difference. And then the biceps, you really got to appreciate the level of separation in his biceps. To look at the tricep into, the splitting heads of the bicep, it's an amazing. It looks like a loaf of bread, one of those Hawaiian bun rolls that you can get at Walmart or wherever you shop. I don't know if you're in Texas or something. They've got the other stores. Or here we have something called like a Lucky's. For all you California folks. I haven't been there yet, but we do have that. And I think that's something people really overlook with Hunter's back double bicep is the actual bicep. It looks phenomenal. I'd love to see a breakdown of who has the best biceps in open bodybuilding currently. At least from the back, I'd like to say Hunter's got to be in that conversation to, maybe be in the top 10 of, best biceps the way they are displayed. Or at least maybe it's just unique. Maybe we're digging into it too much. But again, I would give this to the Tampa Pro one just because it is a little bit more conditioned, but not as much as what people are saying. I don't see the huge discrepancy. I don't see the huge difference. Most muscular as we move to the almost final photo. And again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for stopping by and watching this video all the way. It really does help the channel grow as we are getting back into the swing of making daily content for you fine people, the best looking fans in bodybuilding. Most muscular, like I said, starting from the bottom, and now we're here. The calves look very comparable. The quads, there is more separation for the Tampa, so I would give that to him there. The tan at the Olympia is just too dark. I think that really pulled away from his physique and really made him look washy. But he was still able to snag a top 10 finish, so you can't be upset with that. I mean, I'm sure him and his team and his family, I'm sure they're happy with that. The midsection, very similar, I would say. There's a little bit more detail around the obliques, and then as it kind of flows into the pelvic area, that line, the lining of the lower abdominals is more crisp. There's not as much skin fold, but he's also standing up right a little bit more, so that might have helped. Chest, very similar. The tear it's always noticeable. I don't really see people making a huge conversation about that. I thought about talking about it in a video, but after looking at some of the photos, I was like, it's the same thing. People are just making talk. Arms, delts, pretty much identical. Traps, identical. But again, you give it to the Tampa Pro. He does look a little bit better, a little bit more conditioned. So you got to give it to him for what he did. The front double, this is day and night, but it is completely unfair to make the comparison because the way he hit it at the Olympia, and this is for his individual routine, is completely different from the way he's been hitting it now. More traditional, not trying to put the aesthetic onto it. I'm not going to dig through the online photo galleries on NPC News Online. I don't want to get more threats in my inbox for being a journalist, so we're not going to do that. So that's why I'm thanking Project Bodybuilding 1 on Instagram so much for putting together this collage. But if we were to put a microscope to put our eyes into looking at this comparison, the package that Hunter Labrada brought to the Tampa Pro is far and above what he had at the Olympia. The level of detail that he was lacking, the wateriness of the legs, the midsection, the chest. I don't know if this was prejudging doing his routine or if this was finals, but it looks not good compared to the photos literally the photos we just looked at. Night and day difference. The shots from Tampa, huge improvements for Hunter Labrada. This would put him in that conversation of, okay, where could this guy place? Is this a guy that could, maybe beat out a Brandon Curry that plays the size game, which, good Lord, I swear to goodness, if he plays the size game again this Olympia, he does not deserve to be in that top 6. I don't even want to get into it. But if Brandon Curry brings conditioning, I think he deserves to stay in the top 6. He's a good bodybuilder and he is competitive. But good Lord, please do not play the size game and show up looking like a bag of water. It's just not. It shouldn't be rewarded. And that's all I'll say about that. But if Hunter Labrada brings what he brought to Tampa and he's about to bring to Texas in under a week, I think he could make some conversation. I think there could be a conversation for him to improve maybe 1 or 2 placings at the Olympia. Or with all this new talent coming in, stay at his placing of what was like 7 or 8. If he could just stay there, I think that's also a win in his book. But those are my thoughts on Hunter Labrada's 2022 Olympia package versus his 2023 Tampa Pro victory package. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below. Check out bodybuildingnews.net for all the cool merch and swag I'm wearing. And also, I was talking to a guy at the gym, and he liked that I usually wear my old school bodybuilding clothing company stuff when I go and work out. But shout out to Scott and Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company. One of my favorite, if not, I think it is my favorite bodybuilding clothing brand. So check those guys out. No affiliate link. I just love the guy. I love what he does, and I love the quality. So in order up. If you wear an XL, do a 2XL, because as soon as you wash that bad boy, and he's going to tell you, Scott, I know, he told me, he's like, don't wash it in hot water. And then I washed it in hot water, and now I can't wear my my 2022 Olympia long sleeve because it's too tight. So you boys got to get shredded so we can wear it again. But like I said, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, continue the conversation in the comment section below. Share with a like-minded individual, as it does help the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next one.